Today, when you're watching this, my baby is 6 months old. I've kept a human alive for 6 months. I deserve an award. Hi friends! So I wrote down some thoughts and some feelings about the first 6 months of parenting, as well as some thoughts and feelings during my pregnancy and where I was at mentally. Ty was going to be a part of this video. However, I decided to film it without him. So if you're interested in getting the dad's opinion, please let me know. I'll be happy to have him on here. This video is going to be raw and open, and yeah, if you have any questions about anything, please feel free to write them down in the comments if you need more elaboration on things. If you're an expectant mother, first time, congratulations. It's a wild ride. First of all, the last 6 months have flown by. The last year has flown by. You know, when you're little, time goes by so slow. You feel like a year feels like 10 years, like it just goes by so slow. And then as you get older, it gets a little faster and faster. And then, like for me, I found my self-love and it felt even faster. I found the love of my life, and then it just got that much faster. And then having a baby, holy shit, pardon my mouth. Time flies by even faster, and I didn't even think that was possible. So a little backstory. Ty and I started dating March 2018. In September of 2018, he proposed. In March 2019, 6 months later, we found out we were pregnant. When I found out I was pregnant, I was emotional. I had been pregnant before and I had lost the baby, so it was surreal that we were gonna be able to carry fully. Once we were past that 12-week mark and we were in the safe zone, I started having depression. I was already having a tough time because there had been some negativity around our wedding, so I wasn't very excited about our wedding anyways. And then being pregnant on top of the wedding, I was a little disappointed. The wedding was gonna have to change. The bachelorette party wasn't gonna be your normal bachelorette party. We were gonna go to a winery and drink wine. My bachelorette party was still very good, and my sister did a wonderful job. She's freaking amazing. It just wasn't what I had wanted for the bachelorette party. And another thing that I was stuck on is that me and Ty were still very new. At this point, we had been together for a year, and I just wanted all my time with him. I wanted quality time, just me and my husband, because I knew a baby was gonna change all of that. So on top of all those thoughts, I was battling depression. My hormones and serotonin levels were all over the place during the first parts of my pregnancy. My depression got a little bit better. We had also made a decision to change the wedding completely and go off and elope, so it would take away all the drama that was going on with family members, and it would make it back to just being about him and I again. Once that happened, I started feeling excited. Once we saw him and got to know his gender, we got excited. It was so surreal. Being pregnant was so surreal the entire time. There was never a time where I felt like I was a mom. It felt like a dream, like it wasn't really happening. And I think I had that disconnect because of the miscarriage, because I didn't want to bond with him if I was gonna lose him. So I really think that had a lot to do with it, but I was not feeling that mom feeling that you think you will feel when you get pregnant. I don't know, I could be loony, but at least I always had an idea that you would just feel this thing, and I didn't feel it. Still to this day, it's weird. Like, I'll look at him and be like, you're mine? Like, I created you? You are a carbon copy of me and your dad? Like, it's still so surreal. It's a little bit more believable because, you know, he's here. But pregnancy amnesia kicks in. Like, I don't remember all these bad things about being pregnant. I don't remember giving birth. I don't like remember the bad times in the beginning. Like it literally just all goes away, and it's still like, what? How are you really mine? It sounds bogus, I know. That's why moms are crazy. I did go and react to our birth video and filled in a lot of blanks that I didn't get to use. So it's like a story time of more detail about our labor. So definitely go over and check that out if you want the tea, because there's some ranting and raving in that one. I would definitely say that the first 6 weeks was the hardest part about being a family, especially like in the hospital. It's still not real, but when you get home and there's no nurses to help you, or it's just you, your partner, and the baby, or in some cases, you and your baby. I couldn't do this alone. Me and Ty learning how to communicate in a new way. Us and the baby learning how to communicate in a new way. The baby's learning how to live. We're learning how to live with the baby. Like, there's so much learning going on that Ty had to consistently remind me that we're learning. We'll get better. But the sleep deprivation, the hormones, the thought of it needs to be this certain way, being fearful of the baby dying from SIDS or whatever, like, it was so stressful. It was harder than I could have ever imagined. Like, I've been a nanny, a babysitter, I've been around kids since I was a kid. Never could have imagined how difficult it was. And if you are a single parent doing this on your own, Jesus Christ, props to you. I couldn't. And props to you if you are with your partner, but they don't do anything, or they do less than they should, because, like I said, I wouldn't be able to do this without Ty. Ty and I have always had a great relationship. Even to this day, we have never been in a fight. We've had misunderstandings and we've had annoyances, but we can always come back and communicate effectively to fix the problem. I would say during parenting has been the hardest because we've had to learn how to communicate. We both have different ideas on what should be. There's a book, actually, it's right here. I bought this when I felt like we weren't doing very good. It's Baby Proofing Your Marriage. In the book, it explains that men are more financial focused when baby comes, because we want to be able to afford things, we want to be able to do things, when women are more motherly, mother intuition sort of thing. I had to realize that I had more experience taking care of babies one-on-one when Ty needed to learn. I needed to accept the fact that Ty was going to learn and do things in a different way, and that I couldn't be micromanaging. As long as the baby was safe and the job was getting done, why should I tell him how to do things? So yeah, that's definitely something that we had to overcome even longer than those 6 weeks. I would say probably till Ryder was about 3 or 4 months old. That was a challenge. When they say don't get used to a baby's schedule, that is an understatement. Ryder's schedule, he would get a schedule, and the next week, it's like every week he got older, the more it changed. And once we finally felt comfortable like putting to bed early, we would put him into his crib at like 7, 8-ish, depending on when he was tired. And then we would have time to ourselves. And it was almost like this guilty thing, like, is this really how parenting works? Like, I feel like it should be all about baby. But it was so nice, because then we finally started getting time to ourselves. And we were able to get babysitters and go out on dates, which is so important. So important. If you're a new family, please take time for each other. Take time to communicate, let go of what you think should be, and come to some sort of agreement. Also, have a baby with someone who has similar parenting thoughts of how to raise the baby. It'll make it a lot easier to come to terms with each other. But take time for each other. That's the biggest thing. You guys are a couple first and parents second. Yes, the baby is going to be number one while you guys are establishing it, but once you establish your family, take time for each other. I was feeling very disconnected from him. When you are healing from labor, when you are a new parent and you just stress about your new child, intimacy is not something that's forefront in your mind for most moms, I would say, because for dads, Nothing in your body has really changed. Women kind of have a lot. It's not the same for everyone. This has just been my perception of it. Being a mom and learning how to be intimate again, and being able to feel close to your husband, and not that it's just all about the baby, is so important. That's my rant about like the first part of it. Ryder's 6 months old. It's so crazy. I was looking at videos, just seeing him roll over for the first time, seeing him do copycat for the first time. You know, when he started to talk, and even now he's starting to spit and roll. He doesn't crawl yet, but he rolls everywhere. He can get around the room. He is the best freaking kid ever. I love seeing his personality come out. I think that right now is the best time for me to be a parent, because he's still trapped. He's still not super mobile. He can get into things, but not like super get into things. He's still drinking from a bottle. So if we gotta go, guess what? We don't have to get up super early to get him going, because we can just feed him a bottle and it's good. It's not like an hour-long breakfast. Eat your breakfast, eat your breakfast. He's becoming independent. His personality's showing up. He is such a goofball. You guys, being a parent has been a crazy, crazy ride. I always wanted to be a mom. And then when I started loving myself, I gave up the idea of having a baby, because I kind of figured I would just be a self-lover. That sounded so gross, but it's not what I meant. And then I met Ty, and I still kind of just didn't have a thought about babies. But we both said, we'll let, God choose whether we have a baby or not. We won't try for a baby, but we won't prevent for a baby. And God knew that we needed Ryder, and I wouldn't change it for the world. It was rough. But man, it's so worth it. It was, I'm just on cloud 9. I can still just stare at the baby for freaking hours and still just be in awe of him and my life. My life is fucking amazing. I'm a blessed mama. Everything that happened. Anyways, I know this video is probably jumping around everywhere, but I think the more you share your feelings and your thoughts about everything, whether they're good or bad, really helps other people know that they're normal and it's okay, and they can reach out and get help if they need it, because they know that they're not just weird off. Like, don't pretend to be happy if you're not. Don't. Take it, learn from it, grow from it, experience it. Thank you for being a part of this special day, and we'll see you later.